Hello and welcome back to the reading of the Holy Bible. We will be doing Numbers 5, 6, 7, and 8 today. I do apologize if it's a little bit hard to understand me. I am currently recovering from my allergies at the moment. I almost lost my voice. Really came really quite close to losing my voice on Wednesday, so I do hope it is easy enough to understand me. Numbers chapter 5. The unclean are removed from the camp. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they cast out of the camp every leper and whosoever hath an issue of seed, or is defiled by the dead, whether it be man or woman, cast ye them out of the camp, lest they defile it, and I shall dwell with you. And the children of Israel did so, and they cast them forth without the camp, as the Lord had spoken to Moses. Confession of and satisfaction for sins. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Say to the children of Israel, when a man or woman shall have committed any of all the sins that men are wont to commit, and by negligence shall have transgressed the commandment of the Lord and offended, they shall confess their sins and restore the principle itself, and the fifth part over and above to him against whom they have sinned. But if there be no one to receive it, they shall give it to the Lord, and it shall be the priest, besides the ram that is offered for expiation, to be an atoning sacrifice. All the firstfruits also, which the children of Israel offer, belong to the priest, and whatsoever is offered in the sanctuary by every one, and is delivered into the hands of the priest, it shall be his. Chapter 5, verse 7, shall confess. This confession and satisfaction ordained in the old law was a figure of the sacrament of penance. Trial of jealousy. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and thou shalt say to them, The man whose wife shall have gone astray, and contemning her husband, shall have slept with another man, and her husband cannot discover it, but the adultery is a secret, and cannot be proved by witnesses, because she was not found in the adultery. If the spirit of jealousy stir up the husband against his wife, who either is defiled or is charged with false suspicion, the spirit of jealousy. This ordinance was designed to clear the innocent and to prevent jealous husbands from harming their wives. It also gave all a horror of adultery. He shall bring her to the priest, and shall offer an oblation for her. The tenth part of a measure of barley meal. He shall not pour oil thereon, nor put frankincense upon it, because it is a sacrifice of jealousy, and an oblation searching out adultery. The priest therefore shall offer it, and set it before the Lord. And he shall take holy water in an earthen vessel, and he shall cast a little earth of the pavement of the tabernacle into it. And when the woman shall stand before the Lord, he shall uncover her head, and shall put on her hands the sacrifice of remembrance, and the oblation of jealousy, and he himself shall hold the most bitter waters, whereon he hath heaped curses with execration. And he shall adjure her, and shall say, If another man hath not slept with thee, and if thou be defiled by forsaking thy husband's bed, these most bitter waters on thee I have heaped curses, shall not hurt thee. But if thou hast gone aside from thy husband, and art defiled, and hast lain with another man, these curses shall light upon thee. The Lord make thee a curse, and an example for all among his people, and may he make thy rot may make thy thigh to rot, and may thy belly swell and burst asunder. Let the cursed waters enter into thy belly, and may thy womb swell and thy thigh rot. And the woman shall answer, Amen, Amen. And the priest shall write these curses in a book, and shall wash them out with the most bitter water, upon which he hath heaped the curses. And he shall give them to her to drink. And when she hath drunk them up, the priest shall take from her hand the sacrifice of jealousy, and shall elevate it before the Lord, and shall take upon it, and shall put it upon the altar, yet so as first to take a handful of the sacrifice of that which is offered, and burn it upon the altar, and so give the most bitter waters to the woman to drink. And when she hath drunk them, if she be defiled, and having despised her husband, be guilty of adultery, the malediction shall go through her, and her belly swelling, her thighs shall rot, and the woman shall be a curse, an example to all the people. But if she be not defiled, she shall not be hurt, and shall bear children. This is the law of jealousy. If a woman hath gone aside from her husband, and be defiled, and the husband stirred up by the spirit of jealousy, bring her before the Lord, and the priest do to her according to all things that are here written. The husband shall be blameless, and she shall bear her iniquity. Chapter 6. Duties of the Nazarites. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and thou shalt say to them, When a man or a woman shall make a vow to be sanctified, and will consecrate themselves to the Lord, they shall abstain from wine, and from everything that may make a man drunk. They shall not drink vinegar of wine, or of any other drink, nor anything that is pressed out of the grape, nor shall they eat grapes, either fresh or dried. All the days that they are consecrated to the Lord by vow, they shall eat nothing that cometh to the vineyard, from the raisin even to the kernel. All the time of the separation no razor shall pass over his head, until the day be fulfilled of his consecration to the Lord. He shall be holy, and shall let the hair of his head grow. All the time of his consecration he shall not go into any dead, neither shall he make himself unclean, even for his father, or for his mother, or for his brother, or for his sister. When they die, because the consecration of his God is upon his head, all the days of his separation he shall be holy to the Lord. But if any man die suddenly before him, the head of his consecration shall be defiled, and he shall shave it forthwith on the same day of his purification, and again on the 7th day, and on the 8th day he shall bring 2 turtles or 2 young pigeons to the priest in the entry of the covenant of the testimony. And the priest shall offer one for sin, and the other for a holocaust, and shall pray for him, for that he hath sinned by the dead, and he shall sanctify his head that day, and shall consecrate to the Lord the days of his separation, offering a lamb of 1 year for sin, yet so that the former days be made void, because his sanctification was profaned. Consecration of Nazarites. This is the law of consecration. When the days which he had determined by vow shall be expired, he shall bring him to the door of the tabernacle of the covenant, and shall offer his oblation to the Lord. One he lamb of a year old without blemish for a holocaust, and 1 ewe lamb of a year old without blemish for a sin offering, and 1 ram without blemish for a victim of peace offering. A basket also of unleavened bread, tempered with oil, and wafers without leaven, anointed with oil, and the libations of each. And the priest shall present them before the Lord, and shall offer both the sin offering and the holocaust. But the ram he shall immolate for a sacrifice of peace offering to the Lord, offering at the same time the basket of unleavened bread, and the libations that are due by custom. Then shall the hair of the consecration of the Nazarite be shaved off before the door of the tabernacle of the covenant, and he shall take his hair, and lay it upon the fire, which is under the sacrifice of the peace offerings, and shall take the boiled shoulder of the ram, and 1 unleavened cake out of the basket, and 1 unleavened wafer, and he shall deliver them into the hands of the Nazarite after his head is shaven. And receiving them again from him, he shall elevate them in the sight of the Lord, and they being sanctified, shall belong to the priest, as the breast which was commanded to be separated, and the shoulder. After this the Nazarite may drink wine. This is the law of the Nazarite, when he hath vowed his oblation to the Lord in the time of his consecration. Pardon me. Of his consecration. Besides those things which his hand shall find, according to that which he had vowed in his mind, so shall he do for the fulfilling of his sanctification. Formula of the priestly blessing. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Say to Aaron and his sons, Thus shall you bless the children of Israel, and you shall say to them, The Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord show his face to thee and have mercy on thee. The Lord turn his countenance to thee and give thee peace. And I shall invoke my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. Chapter 7. Dedication of the Tabernacle. And it came to pass in the day that Moses had finished the tabernacle, and set it up, and had anointed and sanctified it with all its vessels, the altar likewise, and all the vessels thereof. The princes of Israel, and the heads of the families in every tribe, who were the rulers of them who had been numbered, offered their gifts before the Lord, 6 wagons covered, and 12 oxen. 2 princes offered 1 wagon, and each one an ox, and they offered them before the tabernacle. And the Lord said to Moses, Receive them from them to serve in the ministry of the tabernacle, and thou shalt deliver them to the Levites according to the order of their ministry. Moses, therefore, receiving the wagons and the oxen, delivered them to the Levites. 2 wagons and 4 oxen he gave to the sons of Gershon, according to their necessity. The other 4 wagons and 8 oxen he gave to the sons of Merari, according to their offices and service, under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron, the priest. But to the sons of Kath he gave no wagons or oxen, because they serve in the sanctuary and carry their burdens upon their own shoulders. And the princes offered for the dedication of the altar on the day when it was anointed, their oblation before the altar. And the Lord said to Moses, Let each of the princes one day after another offer their gifts for the dedication of the altar. Offering of Nahasson. The first day Nahasson, the son of Amminadab, of the tribe of Judah, offered his offering. And his offering was a silver dish weighing 130 sickles, a silver bowl of 70 sickles, according to the weight of the sanctuary, both full of flour tempered with oil for sacrifice, a little mortar of 10 sickles of gold full of incense, an ox of the herd, and a ram, and a lamb of a year old for a holocaust, and a buck goat for sin, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 lambs of a year old. This was the offering of Nahasson, the son of Amminadab. Offering of Nathaniel. The second day Nathaniel, the son of Suar, prince of the tribe of Issachar, made his offering. A silver dish weighing 130 sickles, a silver bowl of 70 sickles, according to the weight of the sanctuary, both full of flour, tempered with gold for a sacrifice, a little mortar of gold weighing 10 sickles full of incense, an ox of the herd, and a ram, and a lamb of a year old for a holocaust, and a buck goat for sin, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 buck goats, 5 lambs of a year old. This was the offering of Nathaniel, the son of Suar. Offering of Eliab. The third day, the prince of the sons of Zebulun, Eliab, the son of Helon, offered a silver dish weighing 130 sickles, a silver bowl of 70 sickles by the weight of the sanctuary, both full of flour, tempered with oil for a sacrifice, a little mortar of gold weighing 10 sickles full of incense, an ox of the herd, and a ram, and a lamb of a year old for a holocaust, and a buck goat for sin, and for the sacrifice of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 buck goats, 5 lambs of a year old. This is the oblation of Eliab, the son of Helon. Offering of Eleazar. The fourth day, the prince of the sons of Reuben, Eleazar, the son of Sedior, offered a silver dish weighing 130 sickles, a silver bowl of 70 sickles, according to the weight of the sanctuary, both full of flour, tempered with oil for a sacrifice, a little mortar of gold weighing 10 sickles, full of incense, an ox of the herd, and a ram and a lamb of a year old for a holocaust, and a buck goat for sin. And 4 victims of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 buck goats, 5 lambs of a year old. This was the offering of Eleazar, the son of Sedor. Offering of Salamiel. The fifth day, the prince of the sons of Simeon, Salamiel, the son of Surasadai, offered a silver dish weighing 130 sickles, a silver bowl of 70 sickles after the weight of the sanctuary, both full of flour tempered with oil for a sacrifice, a little mortar of gold weighing 10 sickles full of incense, an ox of the herd, and a ram, and a lamb of a year old for a holocaust, and a buck goat for sin, and for sacrifices of peace offerings 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 buck goats, 5 lambs of a year old. This was the offering of Salamiel, the son of Surasadai. Offering of Eliasaph. The sixth day, the princes of the sons of Gad, Eliasaph, the son of Deuel, offered a silver dish weighing 130 sickles, a silver bowl of 70 sickles by the weight of the sanctuary, both full of flour, tempered with oil for sacrifice, a little mortar of gold weighing 10 sickles full of incense, an ox of the herd, and a ram and a lamb of a year old for a holocaust, and a buck goat for sin. And for sacrifices of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 buck goats, 5 lambs of a year old. This was the offering of Eliasaph, the son of Deuel. Offering of Elisama. The seventh day, the prince of the sons of Ephraim, Elisama, the son of Ammiud, offered a silver dish weighing 130 sickles, a silver bowl of 70 sickles according to the weight of the sanctuary, both full of flour, tempered with oil for a sacrifice, a little mortar of gold weighing 10 sickles full of incense, an ox of the herd, and a ram, and a lamb of a year old for a holocaust, and a buck goat for sin, and for sacrifices of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 buck goats, 5 lambs of a year old. This was the offering of Elisama, the son of Amiud. Offering of Offering of Gamaliel. The 8th day, the prince of the sons of Manasseh, Gamaliel, the son of Padassur, offered a silver dish weighing 130 sickles, a silver bowl of 70 sickles, according to the weight of the sanctuary, both full of flour, tempered with oil for a sacrifice, a little mortar of gold weighing 10 sickles, full of incense, an ox of the herd, and a ram and a lamb of a year old for a holocaust, and a buck goat for sin, and for sacrifices of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 buck goats, 5 lambs of a year old. This was the offering of Gamaliel, the son of Padassur. Offering of Abidan. The 9th day, the prince of the sons of Benjamin, Abidan, the son of Gideon, offered a silver dish weighing 130 sickles, a silver bowl of 70 sickles, by the weight of the sanctuary, both full of flour, tempered with oil for a sacrifice, a little mortar of gold weighing 10 sickles full of incense, an ox of the herd, and a ram, and a lamb of a year old for a holocaust, and a buck goat for sin, and for sacrifices of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 buck goats, 5 lambs of a year old. This was the offering of Abidan, the son of Gideon. Offering of Ahiezer. The 10th day, the prince of the sons of Dan, Ahiezer, the son of Ammissadai, offered a silver dish weighing 130 sickles, a silver bowl of 70 sickles, according to the weight of the sanctuary, both full of flour, tempered with oil for a sacrifice, a little mortar of gold weighing 10 sickles full of incense, an ox of the herd, and a ram, and a lamb of a year old for a holocaust, and a buck goat for sin, and for sacrifices of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 buck goats, 5 lambs of a year old. This was the offering of Ahiezer, the son of Ammissadai. Offering of Phagiel. The 11th day, the prince of the sons of Aser, Phagiel, the son of Ochran, offered a silver dish weighing 130 sickles, a silver bowl of 70 sickles, according to the weight of the sanctuary, both full of flour, tempered with oil for a sacrifice, a little mortar of gold weighing 10 sickles full of incense, an ox of the herd, and a ram, and a lamb of a year old for a holocaust, and a buck goat for sin. And for sacrifices of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 buck goats, 5 lambs of a year old. This was the offering of Phagiel, the son of Ochran. Offering of Ahira. The 12th day, the prince of the sons of Naphtali, Ahira, the son of Enan, offered a silver dish weighing 130 sickles, a silver bowl of 70 sickles. According to the weight of the sanctuary, both full of flour, tempered with oil for sacrifice, a little mortar of gold weighing 10 sickles full of incense, an ox of the herd, and a ram, and a lamb of a year old for a holocaust, and a buck goat for sin, and for sacrifices of peace offerings, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 buck goats, 5 lambs of a year old. This was the offering of Ahira, the son of Enan. Totals of the offerings of the princes. These were the offerings made by the princes of Israel in the dedication of the altar, in the days therein. It was consecrated 12 dishes of silver, 12 silver bowls, 12 little mortars of gold, 85 each dish weighing 130 sickles of silver, and each bowl 70 sickles, that is, putting all the vessels of silver together, 2,400 sickles, by the weight of the sanctuary, 12 little mortars of gold, full of incense, weighing 10 sickles apiece, by the weight of the sanctuary, that is, in all 120 sickles of gold. 12 oxen out of the herd for a holocaust, 12 rams, 12 lambs of a year old, and their libations, 12 buck goats for sin, and for sacrifices of peace offerings, oxen 24, rams 60, buck goats 60, lambs of a year old 60. These things were offered in the dedication of the altar when it was anointed. God speaks to Moses from the preparatory. And when Moses entered in the tabernacle of the covenant to consult the oracle, he heard the voice of one speaking to him from the propitiatory that was over the ark between the 2 cherubims, and from this place he spoke to them. Hey, over here, move. I don't mind you being there, but move. Chapter 8, the Golden Candlestick. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron, and thou shalt say to him, When thou shalt place the 7 lamps, let the candlestick be set up on the south side. Give orders, therefore, that the lamps look over against the north, towards the table of the loaves of proposition. Over against that part shall they give light, towards which the candlestick looketh. And Aaron did so. And he put the lamps upon the candlestick, as the Lord had commanded Moses. Now this was the work of the candlestick. It was of beaten gold, both the shaft in the middle, and all that came out of both sides of the branches according to the pattern which the Lord had shown to Moses. So he made the candlestick. Ordination of the Levites. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Take the Levites out of the midst of the children of Israel, and thou shalt purify them. According to this rite, let them be sprinkled with the water of purification, and let them shave all the hairs of their flesh. And when they shall have washed their garments and are cleansed, let them be sprinkled with the water of purification. This was the holy water mixed with the ashes of the red cow, and appointed for purifying all that were unclean. It was a figure of the blood of Christ, applied to our souls by his holy sacraments. They shall take an ox of the herd, and for the offering thereof fine flour tempered with oil, and thou shalt take another ox of the herd for a sin offering, and thou shalt bring the Levites before the tabernacle of the covenant, calling together all the multitude of the children of Israel. And when the Levites are before the Lord, the children of Israel shall put their hands upon them, and Aaron shall offer the Levites as a gift in the sight of the Lord from the children of Israel, that they may serve in his ministry. The Levites also shall put their hands upon the heads of the oxen, of which thou shalt sacrifice one for sin, and the other for a holocaust to the Lord, to pray for them. And thou shalt set the Levites in the sight of Aaron and of his sons, and shalt consecrate them, being offered to the Lord, and shalt separate them from the midst of the children of Israel to be mine. And afterwards they shall enter into the tabernacle of the covenant to serve me. And thus shalt thou purify and consecrate them for an oblation of the Lord. For as a gift they were given me by the children of Israel. I have taken them instead of the firstborn that opened every woman in Israel. For all the firstborn of the children of Israel, both of man and of beast, are mine. From the day that I slew every firstborn in the land of Egypt, have I sanctified them to myself. And I have taken the Levites for all the firstborn of the children of Israel, and have delivered them for a gift to Aaron and his sons out of the midst of the people, to serve me for Israel in the tabernacle of the covenant, and to pray for them, lest there should be a plague among the people, if they should presume to approach unto my sanctuary. And Moses and Aaron and all the multitude of the children of Israel did with the Levites all that the Lord had commanded Moses, and they were purified and washed their garments. And Aaron lifted them up in the sight of the Lord and prayed for them, that being purified they might go into the tabernacle of the covenant to do their services before Aaron and his sons. As the Lord had commanded Moses touching the Levites, so was it done. Age required for Levitical service. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, This is the law of the Levites. From 25 years old and upwards, they shall go in to minister in the tabernacle of the covenant. When they shall have accomplished the 50th year of their age, they shall cease to serve, and they shall be the ministers of the brethren of the tabernacle of the covenant, to keep the things that are committed to their care, but not to do the works. Thus shalt thou order the Levites, touching their charge. Thank you very much for joining me for chapter 5, 6, 7, and 8 of the Bible. That was for Numbers. Join me next week for 9, 10, 11, and 12 for Numbers. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope that you all have a wonderful week, and God bless.